All right, so remember when we were creating equations of sinusoidal functions, everything was fine. The errors that I noticed, and that was completely my fault, was look at question number 2. Do you see in the cosine graph, like the blue one over here, I had said, oh, the shift is 30 degrees to the right. But really, if you take a look at it, if the period is 180 degrees and an important shift is happening every quarter period, what's 180 divided by 4? 45. So really, this means this phase shift was 45 degrees to the right. And that's where I made a mistake. I had said that it would be 30 degrees because we were just sort of looking at the graph, but you can't look at the graph. In order to figure out the phase shift, you really have to look at the quarter period. So I'll correct the mistake now. For question 2, which was, whoops. Question 2, the first graph, I know they're not really labeled. For the cosine graph, we originally had y is equal to cos bracket 2 bracket x minus 30, but it can't be 30 because, and I'll highlight it here too in case you're looking at it, that can't be 30 degrees because if the entire period is 180, a quarter period is 45 degrees. So just make a note to yourself that whenever you're trying to figure out what the phase shift is, look at the quarter period. Look at your period, divide it by 4. That is how much you're shifting over by. The other mistake was in the question right beside it. So this one right here, this also had a period of 180 degrees. That means the quarter period is 45. We are shifting over 45 degrees to the right. So just change that answer to 45 as well. Did you write it right? I did the wrong with the other class? So you guys had it right? Oh, yeah, okay, so perfect. That means, which ones did we do? The last 3, right? Okay, so let me correct the last 3 because those were also wrong. Again, for the second page, the bottom 2 graphs, the period is 180 degrees, so the phase shift should be 45. And the reason it's 45 is because if the entire period is 180, 180 divided by 4 is 45. So the graph is shifting over a quarter period to 45 degrees. And then when we did the graph on the bottom, I guess, the bottom right-hand side, for that one, the period was 90. So I think we had guessed that it would be 20 something. And I had actually even said, we're just going to guess for now, but I want to be more accurate. So really, if you have a period of 120 degrees, you're going to go, sorry, a period of 90 degrees, you're going to go 90 divided by 4, and that's going to give you an answer of 22.5. So the only 2 phase shifts you have to fix for your class are the bottom 2 ones. One of them is 45 degrees, the other is 22.5. Does that make sense? Okay, so when you're creating an equation, be specific, don't just guess. Take your period, divide it by 4, whatever the quarter period is, that's going to be your phase shift. Yeah, you're right. I think I did 2 of them with one class, 2 with the other. So the first graph, this is oh my gosh, I keep erasing instead of writing. This is 45 degrees. This should be 45 degrees. These were correct, 90 degrees to 90 degrees. The last 2 graphs, this should be 45 degrees and this should be 22.5 degrees. My mistake for getting it wrong the first time.